But the confidence, the belief that they have in themselves, by the time they talk, you will follow them to the ends of the earth. Hi. Today is day 48. Wow. Day 48. We are moving on. Let's see how far. I'm like 15 minutes in. So today we're going to talk about the power of self-confidence. Yes, the power of self-confidence. And I just want to believe that self-confidence just means believing in yourself. I mean, I'm sure there are so many definitions out there, but that's just the simple way I understand it. It's believing in yourself. Believing in yourself. And it could come in different dimensions. Believing in yourself, in who you are, and another dimension of it is believing in what you can do, in your abilities. So believing in yourself is just knowing your self-worth, knowing who you are, believing in your values, in your person, in who you are, in what you stand for, And believing in your abilities is just believing in your capabilities, your strengths, knowing your weaknesses and embracing your weaknesses, believing that you are capable of setting goals, achieving it, setting tasks before yourself and moving towards it and achieving it. Just believing in what you can do, what you can achieve, right? So that combination of believing in who you are and what you can do is what actually makes you to possess that characteristic of self-confidence, so to say. And I know that self-confidence is very powerful and very important because it can bring a lot of benefits to us. Like, just right off the bat, when I was thinking about it, I just thought self-confidence makes you to just feel that sense of fulfillment, that sense of composure in yourself, that sense of happiness, that kind of completeness, that, it's self-confidence that gives you that bounce in your steps, like where you just can sit up, you can chest up, and just that sense of groundedness, that happiness. It just gives you that, what they will call in my home country, Nigeria, they will say steeze. It just gives you that steeze and your composure, just makes you to feel good with yourself. When you have self-confidence, you're just good and you're like, yes, I am me. So yeah, that's just one thing that I know self-confidence gives you, and it helps you. Again, another thing is that it helps you to be able to achieve and to be motivated, because obviously when you believe in yourself, when you know that this is who I am and you are sure of who you are, you are just believing in that, your person and your abilities, you are able to achieve goals and push yourself, and you are able to move forward and be motivated because you know that, oh, this is who I am, I can do it. You believe in yourself, I can do it. So you are more motivated. If you have tasks or you have goals or a purpose or a project or whatever it is that you have already earmarked for yourself, you are able to push yourself, you are able to move forward with it more than somebody that does not have self-confidence. So another thing that I believe that self-confidence can give to us is it helps us to overcome challenges. In the same vein, when you have a motivation, your motivational power is very high, you are driven, right? You're able to face challenges because in your mind you are like, there's nothing that wants to come, I can face it. You are able to face challenges, you are able to look the challenge, eye to eye. They will say eyeball to eyeball. You're able to just face the challenge and go for it. You are not afraid of challenges, right? If you have self-confidence, you are not afraid of failure. You're not afraid of trying because you are confident. You believe in yourself. You believe in your ability, and you know that you can go for it. You're a go-getter. That's another power of self-confidence. Another thing that self-confidence does for us is it helps us if we are confident, even when we face challenges, even if we fail, we kind of bounce back easily. Because I know some very self-confident people that maybe they fail at something. Before you know it, they're back on their feet, they're doing something again. You're like, did you not just fail now? But they can't be bothered because they know that, okay, failure, I just dust it under my feet, I continue, I can do it. They don't mind to fail. They fail forward. They fail and they get up and they move on. That's one thing that self-confidence does for us, because you just know that, okay, I am who I am, I can make it. So people that are self-confident, they tend to be able to overcome failure very easily, much more easier, much easily. How do I put that grammar? You know what I mean? They are able to do it easier, overcome and bounce back easier than people that are not self-confident. And when as I'm just rambling all these characteristics, I'm asking myself, am I really a self-confident person? Because all these things I've mentioned, I don't know. I possess some of them, but I know that I have a lot of work to do myself, because I know a lot of times I tend to doubt myself. I tend to overthink things. I tend to second guess myself, and I think we all do at times. So I believe we all have, to work on our self-confidence. Maybe some to a greater extent than others. Let me know in the comment section if you're a very, very confident person and you don't even have to work on your self-confidence at all. Let me know. Rate yourself from 1 to 10. What is your degree of self-confidence? I'm not going to tell you my own. I know I'm not up there, but I'm not low, down there either, but I have some work to do. And if you have some work to do, I think we should put the work in. And just thinking about it now, I'm thinking that self-confidence is different from abilities. Because I'm just thinking about it. There are some people, they have the ability, they know how to do these things. They have the knowledge, they have the know-how, but they don't have the confidence. They don't believe in themselves. Meanwhile, there are some other people, they don't even have as much as that person I just mentioned knows. But the confidence, the belief that they have in themselves, by the time they talk, you will follow them to the ends of the earth. So it's one thing to know, to have ability, but self-confidence is believing in yourself, in that ability that you have. And so there are two different things. So I believe that we all need to work on our self-confidence because of all these advantages and because of this immense power that self-confidence carries. Because self-confidence will help us through our lives, it will help us to achieve purpose, and it will help us in a lot of things. And if, we know we need this self-confidence, how can we, because that's the next question, obviously, like, how can we improve our self-confidence? I was thinking about this. I know that there's probably a lot, and if you know any way in which we can improve our self-confidence, please let me know in the comment section. But I was able to think of a few ways, just practically, that from my experience and from what I've seen around. For one, I think talking to ourselves, and I think I talked a lot about this in the video when I talked about self-encouragement. If you've not seen that video, there's a link in the description box. You can go and catch up with that video where I talked about self-motivation and talking to ourselves. I believe that if we talk to ourselves and we speak the word of God over ourselves and tell ourselves that I am who God says I am, right? If we tell ourselves that, then we can develop our self-confidence. And this also starts from young age, because I found that a lot of us lose our self-confidence during our childhood. Maybe when people speak negative things over us, like parents or some adults around us, So I don't know, we should help our children from the get-go, to help them to have self-confidence, to tell them this is who you are, you can do it, and all of that. Because if we feed the children with failure and all of that, it affects them as they grow up. And some of us, we already have that backlog of negativity that we brought from our childhood into our adulthood. But even as adults, we can still speak to ourselves and boost our self-confidence. So that's one way. The other way I was thinking about is if we prepare. And I've also talked about preparedness. Video down below. The video is still there because there was a time we talked about preparedness. I feel that if we are prepared for maybe an occasion or an event or a project or whatever it is that we are trying to do, we will feel more confident because preparation gives us confidence to an extent. Like, oh, you know that you are prepared for this, and then you have the tools. I think it kind of gives you more confidence. And another way that I feel that we can increase our level of self-confidence is through experience. Because I was thinking about it that if you do something and you fail, and then you do it another time, you'll be more confident than the last time you did it, right? Please, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section. But I think, yes, exposing ourselves to failure, not that you set yourself up for failure, but embracing failure, and in terms of when we fail, learn from it. Then the next time we are doing that particular thing again, I think we now have experience in our bag, and with that experience, we can now develop more self-confidence along the lines, towards that particular thing. So experience is very important, and in the same vein, for our children as well, we should kind of allow them to fail. Don't overprotect your children and say, oh, my children, let them not face this, let them not face that. Because when we fail, sometimes it helps us develop experience, and experience brings more self-confidence to us. So those are the ways I could think of. I'm sure there are so many other ways. If you want to add your voice to the conversation, let us know in the comment section. So, and before I go, I want to ask two questions. Number one is self-confidence an innate thing? Like, are there some people that are born with just self-confidence? Because believe me, I've met some people that the level of their self-confidence, it is out of this world. They may not even know anything, but they are so confident, just naturally. They're just confident. So sometimes as I was thinking of this topic, I was just thinking that are some people kind of more endowed with self-confidence, like as an innate thing? I know that we can build it up, but did we all start at the same level, or do some people just have more of it? That's one question I want to ask. And the other question is that I want to ask is, what is the difference between self-confidence and pride? Because sometimes there's a thin line between the two. What is the difference between self-confidence and pride? So these are the two things I've been thinking about, and I want you to just lend your voice to the conversation. I want you to chat with us, enlighten us in the comment section. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking today, and I just hope pray that we will all find a way of improving our self-confidence, because it will go a long way in helping us in life. So that's it for today, and I'm going to see us when I'm done. Yes, I'm back. That's it. So today we've talked about the power of self-confidence, and yeah, as I've said, I believe we all have to work on our I have to work on my self-confidence. I don't know about you, but it's left for you to assess yourself and see where you stand in the self-confidence-ometer. But I just want to make a confession that since I started this YouTube channel, honestly, my self-confidence has really increased. So it has helped me, and that's all thanks to you. I want to just thank you for being here with me sharing this platform with me, and I really appreciate all your comments and all your views and everything. So thank you very much, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, feel free to subscribe if you're getting any value from this channel. And I'm going to see you tomorrow.